Hi, I'm Maya, and today I want to talk about Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. Here's a hot take. Gabriel Oak from Far from the Madding Crowd is the best man in all of literature. He's better than Mr. Darcy, he's better than Atticus Finch, and I'll stand by that. Gabriel is solid and dependable, loyal, gentle, kind, even-tempered, patient, strong, and loving. So just a quick summary, the main character is Bathsheba Everdeen, and she is a poor young woman, and Gabriel Oak is a well-off farmer, and he proposes to Bathsheba, but she says no. Fast forward some time later, and Bathsheba has inherited her uncle's fortune, while Gabriel has lost his sheep and thus his livelihood in an accident. So their situations have reversed. And Gabriel comes to Bathsheba for a job, which she gives to him. He becomes the shepherd on her farm. Over the course of the book, Bathsheba encounters two other suitors, Mr. Boldwood, a wealthy landowner who lives next door, and Sergeant Troy, a rakish military man. The book is partly about Bathsheba deciding which suitor to end up with, but it's mostly about her maturing and learning how to run a farm and how to become a better person. I also want to briefly mention the 2015 film adaptation of this book. It is a masterpiece. It sticks so close to the book, taking lines straight from it. In a behind-the-scenes video, the director of the movie said that he and the actors carried a copy of the book around with them at all times, and they treated it like the Bible. And that's very evident. The actors really capture the spirit of the characters, from inner turmoil to facial expressions to physical action. I wrote a 12-page paper about the movie for one of my classes during my undergrad. So I could go on and on about the movie, but I'll cut myself off. The last thing I'll say about it is that the cinematography really highlights the English countryside, which is a big part of the book. Far from the Madding Crowd is a pastoral novel. Hardy is constantly describing the greenery and the wheat and the animals and the farmland and the rain and the stars. It's so immersive and beautiful. There are so many good lines in the book. My favorite line is, "There are accents in the eye which are not on the tongue." And that's a main theme in the novel, the gulf between the said and the unsaid. The importance of observation and intuition, and the fact that facial expressions and body language often convey more than speech. There are so many great moments in this novel, like when Gabriel and Bathsheba are covering the grain before the storm comes. Another great moment is when the sheep make themselves sick by eating all the clover, and Gabriel is the only one that can save them with a special tool. Of course, because it's Hardy, there are many tragic moments in this book. Fanny Robin, a girl who works for Bathsheba, has a very sad fate, and Sergeant Troy and Mr. Boldwood both have violent ones. Despite the tragedy, though, there are many laugh-out-loud moments in this book. Jan Coggin and Joseph Poorgrass are especially entertaining. There are also strange Shakespearean moments, like when Sergeant Troy runs off and joins the circus, or when he's hiding and eavesdropping on people. These moments feel like they'd be more at home on the stage than on the page, and I think that shows the range that Hardy has. So Bathsheba is a feminist icon. I love her so much. She becomes mistress of her uncle's farm, and she has to work twice as hard as a man to prove that she should be taken seriously by her employees. She tells her employees that she'll be awake before they're awake and she'll be working before they're working. And she says that she intends to astonish them all, which she does. Bathsheba is hardworking and intelligent, and she runs her farm well. The scene in the corn market is one of my favorites. Customers are trying to pay less for the corn and grain that they're getting from her than they did when her uncle was the one running the farm. But she stands her ground, and they pay her what she deserves. She also says that she doesn't need a husband and that she would hate to be a man's property. And although she does end the book in a relationship with a man, her sense of self-worth does not come from him. She knows her own value before she chooses a suitor to accompany her through life, and her identity doesn't get swallowed up in his. She learns to work with him as an equal partnership and a true team. Of course, she's not without her flaws. She's contrary and stubborn and willful, but she grows up a lot, and she becomes a truly capable and remarkable woman. She's adaptable, talented, and strong. The things that I love most about this book are the beautiful setting, the love story, and the themes of gain versus loss, romanticism versus realism, independence versus codependence, the connection between humans and the natural world, the dangers of pride, greed, and obsession, and the fact that everything in life has a season. I think that Far from the Madding Crowd is tied with Little Women for my favorite classic. If you haven't read it, you definitely should. It's a wonderful, inspiring work of art. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Thank you so much for watching.